Okay, basically today I will be teaching you how to change brake pads on a car, and today I'll be using a Honda Civic EG8 1.5 LSI to show you my demonstration. The reason it's missing suspension and a lot of other bits is because I'm breaking it and I've sold most of the parts. But to change the brake pads, I will be using the back discs. The back discs are harder because it's connected to the handbrake, as you can see here. That's your handbrake cable, and basically the handbrake works through the back here. It's like a drum brake. But usually on Hondas, the calipers, there'll be two nuts, two size 12s. Usually you just put a spanner here and you loosen off these nuts here, and basically they will be hard to shift. So instead of just dragging out of it, use a pry bar if you really need to, but usually you can do it with a spanner. All I have to do is shove it on there and give it a karate chop, and it should just loosen off, because it just doesn't takes that little bit of force, you know. Once you loosen these off, I'll take you to the other side where I prepared it. And once those nuts are loose, put them on a safe spot like a toolbox, and then you just had to, on this one I left the handbrake on earlier, so I just took it off, but everything was pushed out like the piston, so it took a bit of force, but I had to get it off. And once you pry that bit off, kind of move it out of the way, and the brake pads are there. Just kind of slot them out, check them for any unusual wear and tear. These seem okay, but they seem a bit too polished, and still got a half-life. Let's check the other one. Sometimes they'd be hard to take out, so just get the screwdriver to jimmy it out a bit. Don't worry if you're replacing them or damaging them, because you're going to be replacing them anyway, so take that out, inspect this. It's okay, it's a bit polished, it's a bit worn there, don't like that. And then what you do as well, I'll show you. See there, the piston, you twist that in and out with a screwdriver just to make sure it's still moving freely. Just hang on, it's really hard to hold all these things together. But basically what you do is get a screwdriver, whoa, put it there and twist it, twist here, left and right, all the way out and all the way in, just to make sure it's moving freely. And then if it's not moving freely, it might need to be replaced. And here's the shims. Shims are here, just little metal pieces to avoid excessive wear. And there will be shims here as well. That's a shim. This one's kind of bent on. If I was going to replace it, I would definitely replace these shims because they're very worn and rusted for my liking. And there's a top one here as well. They're the shims. And what you do basically as well, if you want to change the disc, you take out these screws here and here, and then you should be able to pop the disc off, just, and then you just put the old one on, or the new one on, and replace it. And then you wind the piston back in. You can use a wind back tool or a screwdriver, as I said, like that. Make sure that is aligned here. Wait, better look. This is aligned with there. Otherwise, you see on the back of the brake pad, that's where that slot goes into, on that little nipple. Basically, when you're putting them back, you put all the shims back and just put the brake pads on appropriately. Oops. See, and then basically just, well, the brake pad's meant to be there, you just push it back on and then tighten all the bolts. Make sure everything's tightened enough. And oh, I forgot to say, you also have to check these. These move out freely in and out. If not, may have to be lubricated. But word of advice when you're putting on brake pads, just put on some grease there. But like, there's no point if it's going on a track car because they just burn off anyway. So for your everyday drivers, it's good to put some copper grease on there, cause just to lessen the resistance. Alright, that's it.